I use Neovim, by the way. So what's up? I know this is kind of like setup slop, but you know, I'm here to make slop right now. So let's get on that slop. So you see right here, we have my desktop, and on my desktop, we have what we're gonna go over today. And not everything is gonna make the final cut of this video. I just wanna make that completely clear. You're not gonna see all of this probably in the final video, but if you do, then good. But if you have any questions, you could just ask me on Discord. We have a Discord server. You can leave a comment, or I don't know, carrier pigeon. So yeah, let's get into it. So starting off with my Neovim setup, not even covered in this org file, I have everything inside of config.neovim. And then inside of Neovim, there's a folder called Lua. So basically the init.lua file looks for things, and you can source a folder as a module as long as it has a .init or like an init.lua file inside of it that sources everything else. So because I don't really like the setups that are like, and then they like do this forever. I don't like that. I think aesthetically that looks really ugly. So I just opt to not do that. So going forward, we're gonna go into my config folder, which is the first folder source, I'm pretty sure. No, it's lazy is first. So this is just like a standard how you source plugins using lazy. Cool. Okay, so config. Now we're in config. We have a couple of things. We have my auto commands, which remove white space, change tabbing on Python, and this is like highlight search and highlighting on yank, which only thing that means is like if I want to yank a word, it's gonna do a little flash. That's it. That's all that does. Init.lua, you see, this would look really annoying in one big init file, so I just have everything that has a folder has an init. And then these are my opts. I like a tab stopped 2. I don't know. Oh, this sign column stuff is actually really interesting. I learned about this from a Reddit post when Neovim 11 was still in development. So basically what this is it allows you to have git symbols in the gutter. So what this looks like is if I go, okay, here. So here there are some git changes, okay? So you see here, I have these RSpec mappings in this fuzzy finder bindings, right? And I remove them. So here on the side next to the numbers, it actually shows like the git diff between your local like repository and what was the last like commit in your branch, which I find to be really, really like useful. Some other, like these are all just centering remaps. This one I do use. So if I'm in normal mode and do this will paste from my register. And this I use all the time. It's a copy to system clipboard because if I'm using tmux, if I just normal yank, it's yanking to like a local register instead of like the system register. Leader D, this only works if there's like a problem. So what if I do this? So this shows the diagnostics and will take you to them. There's also .o, and this will give you basically a semantic overview of your file. So we're out of config now. Let's go to plugins, and this is where like most people, they get really caught up using Neovim. To go over like core functionality and aesthetics, I use git signs, which is just a very easy setup that gives the git difference in my gutter. LSP, this is just basic LSP setup with Mason because I like using Mason. I don't want to configure an LSP every time I download it. I just want it to get downloaded and have the defaults, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not really interested in like all of the native updates in Neovim 11. I just want my system to work. If I go to Lua line, you see here I have this custom mode map, which is like, it changes the language of like all the modes into Japanese because I'm a weeb. Yeah, if you want this, you can just take it. I'm thinking of like making something like an extension of this for like other languages, because basically what I did for this is that I was just on the Vim JP documents, like the documentation, and just taking what they call all the modes and then pasting them in, because I don't know what they're called in Japanese, you know? Rainbow delimiters, I feel like everyone needs these. All what this does, Let me just go back in it. So you see how like all the delimiters are like different colors. That's all that does, and it's very useful. This one I come back to from time to time. This is just a picker. It's apparently faster than telescope. I mean, it has like support from Folk. So yeah, I don't use lazy Vim, but I like the other things that he does. I think they're very cool. tmux.lua, this makes it so then I can go between buffers just without having to use the prefix key. Very, very useful. And then last but not least, for the core plugins, I use witch key. So witch key, if you don't know, is a very, very useful plugin, just like all these plugins. It will tell you, it will give you a little outline at the bottom here with like what your key maps are. That's what it does. It tells you what your key maps are. There was like a breaking change a while ago, because before what you would do is that you would define like local witch key, and then you would define all your key maps into their own table somewhere else, and then they'd be imported. I found that instead of doing all that, I just use the Neovim native description, and it gives me everything I need. So cinema. Yeah, I don't want to have weird obfuscations in my setup. These development plugins, I already showed you a couple of these actually. Mainly Trouble. Trouble is what I use for diagnostics, and they're just really useful. I really like it. Auto pairs is pretty self-explanatory. Blink I use for completion, very small, works very well. I use friendly snippets. Rest is one I've been using quite a bit recently because I've been needing to test out like HTTP like protocols. So how this works is, okay, so say I'm in here, right? So now we have our MongoDB database, and we're gonna go to rest here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Vim, and we are going to make a split here, and inside of the split what we're gonna do is go to requests and creating a new rest, just to see if we can like send a request to this. You see we get an HTTP. Okay, wow, this is for a video. Okay, so we're gonna do this, RR, test run. Okay, so it ran okay. So the last thing I want to like show off or like cover is Mini. I don't use Mini for like everything. I like to use only the Mini plugins that I want, so then it's not like the whole Mini package and then just enabling what I want. I want to download exactly the package that I want and then enable it. I use mini.ai, which if you don't know, is not an AI plugin. It is a text objects plugin. So say like you want to delete everything inside of mappings. Normally what you'd have to do is that you would do like a visual select, and then or like visual inside, and then you would pick the bracket, right? But you would have to actually use like curly bracket. But if you use mini.ai, if you just do vi and then b, it will choose like the nearest semantic object, I'm pretty sure. So it will work for any bracket. So say like I'm up here, vib, same key, vi or vib. Mini move, I use this all the time. It's just to move text, and then indent scope just to show where you're indenting. And yeah, that's basically my whole Neovim setup. Aside from that, like just really my color scheme, which is Grovebox, what I use for like colors. And then if you do this, you can have like basically your own color picker. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's it. That's my Neovim configuration. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.